Welcome to Brews with Brad. I'm Brad Bordelon, Business Development Manager at Property Masters. Today, we are going to talk about why relationships matter. Today's episode is all about relationships, not the buzzword kind, but the real operational growth driving kind that property managers rely on every single day. I'm joined by someone who knows the industry inside and out, someone who is just absolute gold in my book, Mr. Jonathan Cook, seasoned expert in property management and business development. He now works with APM Help, helping PM scale through specialization in systems. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Bradley. That was fabulous. Seasoned veteran is one of those things that it's really nice to hear about me. And I'm like, no, you got to be talking about somebody else, right? But then I realize I'm not exactly 20 anymore. I am
The
40.
grays are earned.
Yeah,
I feel
so
like
well,
that's
I
where
can
I'm
see it
at.
in the camera. That's seasoned.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty seasoned.
Season. They call it salt and pepper. So, I mean, if
I've
you're
got the
gonna
salt. I've got the salt, plenty of it. But yeah,
exact,
I have been doing this quite a long time. I've been at whatever, however you want to word exactly what it is that this industry is. You can just call it property management. I
sure.
know a lot of us recognize that it's way more than that because I'm not technically a property manager today. Neither are you,
Mm-mm.
but we are in the real estate investment industry. That's
For sure.
probably the most accurate thing to call this. And yes, I have been doing that for a very long time. And I do believe that the only reason that I'm still doing it is because of the relationships that I've made in this industry. I think it's incredibly valuable. I think it's incredibly important. You are, one of those relationships that when you came to me with this idea and you pitched like, I'm going to do a podcast. We're going to do this. Oh, I'm so excited that you called me to ask me about it. I have done this a time or two. I know a smidge about the podcasting part of it. But I was really excited to talk about this with you because generally speaking, um, I like meeting new people anyways. And getting to meet you has been one of those moments where I instantly was like, this guy gets it. This guy understands the importance of like what we're not in like a, what is that word? Not in the like really snooty version of it, not like snobby. I get what we're doing. It's important. I know that the important stuff is the relationships. Hey, man, how are you? Tell me about yourself. I don't just want to know about your product and or service.
Right.
Walk me through who you are. Let's see if like we do this and then we can all do business together. It was just the perfect thing. So when you told me that you were making a podcast, I was honored to be a guest, of course, but I was like, "Oh, this is just going to be me and you sitting here talking about the stuff that we like to talk about anyways." Absolutely fabulous. This is going to be great.
100%. No, excited to have you, buddy. Excited to have such a wealth of knowledge, really and truly. I wanted to talk to someone who actually got it as well. You put as much stock and value into relationships as I do, and I think it's the single most valuable asset that I have in business development. Period. Is forging relationships. If you can break down the walls, break down the barriers, and get to know the person, there is no sales pitch. I don't think there's a pitch between you and I at this point at all. I'm the same Brad. You're the same Jonathan. We still have the same conversations. So I
I don't
find it.
remember if it was you that said this to me or if it was Brian Jenkins that said this to me, which, by the way, if I'm confusing potentially your words for the potential words of Brian Jenkins,
I'm honored. I'm
you're
honored.
in fabulous,
I'm a great company.
you're in great company. Uh, one of you guys were saying that like the whole idea is, don't you want to do business with your friends? And I was like, yes, right? That's the whole point.
For sure.
That's why we're in it. I do think something important to drop, uh, for the listeners. I think it's very important. And you're the host. Thank you, you gracious host. I do think it is important to discuss the name of your podcast And the
100%.
second part of it is brews, or the first part of it is brews. Brews with Brad. We've got
Bruce
to
with
talk
Brad.
about our brews, I believe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You've
Absolutely.
got some special brews to talk about,
I
and we
do.
could
I do.
tangent on that for like a full runtime of a podcast on their own. If I went in
I
my
do.
whiskey cabinet, same thing. But I'll say this: I think it's important to talk about the brews because that's kind of like the fun stuff. When we talk about building relationships
Hmm.
at conferences, because that's where you and I met.
Yep.
We met at a conference, both as vendors, and I think it's very important that any new vendor that might be listening to this or somebody that's getting into this industry, and even the property managers that go to these, I think they're really important conversations and those relationships get built in the after hours of the conferences, away from the booths, away from the classes. The classes are incredibly valuable, and you should go and you should listen to them and you should
100%.
learn from experts, no question. But those experts are looking at a group of 300 people in front of them, 500 people in front of them. They're not building a relationship with you. You're sitting down and taking notes and hopefully learning from it. The relationship aspect comes after, hey, thanks for coming to the show today. We'll see you in the morning. Scan your little badge or whatever. But it's after hours time where you sit there and occasionally you drink a brew and maybe you make some new friends. So, in the spirit of that, hey, Brad, what you drinking?
I am drinking Dos Equis today. Um, got a little excited earlier. I was flipping through the Googs and it told me that it was National Tequila Day. So I went to pick up some beer and found some tequila in the process. We'll talk Maestro Dobel on another probably episode, but this is
Good.
probably one of my favorite tequilas in the world. Really, really fine stuff. But yes, Dos Equis. Big fan. Doesn't hurt the stomach.
I'm with you.
Strangely, as I've gotten older, different beers affect me in different ways. I
Yeah.
can't drink High Life, Natty, don't want to offend anyone, Nasty Light. I can't really do it anymore. Or the Bush. If it's ice cold, look, I'm old school. Cold beer is good beer.
So,
Period.
cerveza tends to be exclusively refreshing. I don't know
Unbelievably.
if I've ever had a cerveza that wasn't refreshing.
Right?
Um, and maybe we'll tell a story later of some slight different voyages along this path that I call a career, where I had a regular Thursday afternoon between me and a handful of my coworkers, where at 5 o'clock on the dot every single Thursday, one of about five of us was buying a case of Modelo, and we would sit out on the picnic table outside of the office and drink between five of us a full case of Modelo every day.
Nice.
It was
It is
fat.
legendary.
It was pretty nice.
Legendary. Legendary.
Um, but yeah, I really think that Dos Equis is probably the highest quality of the cervezas. I think you're right. Of the ones that are regularly available to every person that might be watching this podcast,
For
whether they
sure.
are in Atlanta or North Carolina or the East Coast, all the way out to like
Yeah,
Phoenix and California. We've got friends all over the country, Brad. So
for
who
sure.
knows who's going to be listening and watching this? So you can get the big three: Corona, Dos Equis, and Modelo in all of those places.
Yeah, 100%.
Of the three, I think Dos Equis is the highest quality.
This is my favorite, bar none. No question. No question.
Now I'll tell you what I'm drinking, if you don't mind.
Let's hear it, buddy.
I suffer from being 40,
Uh,
which means that I became a beer drinker in the time that IPAs were all the craze.
okay.
And I was in an area that when we talk about real estate, maybe later we can get to this as well. Beer plays oddly a very large part of like my real estate journey. It really does, which is interesting. But we had a bunch of microbreweries pop up in Birmingham right as I was like in that prime 20s drinking age.
Okay.
And IPAs were all the rage. So I'm a huge IPA guy. IPA
Okay.
is like, that's my beer of choice. But the problem is, if I drink a Sweetwater 420, which is maybe one of my favorite ones, I can drink like two or three of those, and I'm like, okay, now my head hurts. Now I'm tired. Now I feel like I've eaten like a shepherd's pie or something like that. So I was going to my lake house with my kids a few weekends ago, and I was thinking about that very problem because we were going to get there early and we were going to stay all weekend, but we were getting there early. And I don't really get drunk. I don't know many people that I don't get drunk. I'm definitely not trying to go pound IPAs around my kids and stuff like that. But I would, if I'm sitting out in the lake, I would like to have a beer. And
Sure.
what's a good 10:45 in the morning beer? That doesn't sound like an IPA, but I was in a beer cooler and I was like, what could do that? Like, what's the problem? I do want an IPA, but like, I really don't want to sit out there and drink some like Snake Handler 11%, double IPA thing and be trashed by 1 o'clock. Like that
Right.
doesn't sound like as good of a time as 20-year-old Jonathan might have thought that it was. Found these all day IPAs by Founders. Let me tell you what, an all day IPA, they're not joking. It's only like 4.7% ABV.
Solid.
That's like Coors Light level.
No, that's
But it
good.
still really tastes like an IPA, which means you chew it. It tastes like grass. It's fabulous. I love it.
Tons of flavor.
All
Lot
of
of hit on
you,
the face.
all of you banquet brew guys that are like, all you need is a Coors. Hey, look, I get it that my beer is gross because it's grass, but it's what I grew up on, man. It's
Well,
good.
that
I love
Coors
it.
Light, man, though, it's good hydration is what you got to know. And on
Coors
those
Light
hot
is
summer days, you're trying to put in as much as you're sweating out. I'm just saying.
facts.
But
Oh, I couldn't agree.
but speaking of Founders, so I'm a super fan of Founders Breakfast Stout. I don't know if you've ever had it.
I
It's got a
have.
kid with the spoon. Looks like he's
Yeah.
just going to town. Oh, so rich, so good. But it's so heavy. You can have three
Well,
or four, and then you're just okay.
it's a bowl.
Let me lay down on the
Drinking,
floor and
it's
just stretch
drinking a
out.
bowl of oatmeal. It's
It's
crazy.
so good. It's so good. Oh, it's worth the calories. It really is. I would skip a Big Mac to have a Founder's Breakfast Stout. I'm just shooting you straight.
For sure, absolutely. So I think it's very interesting to discuss the brews because so in terms of you meet somebody at a bar, if I like to talk about beer and you like to talk about beer
Sure.
or whiskey, um, I have a preloaded story. I don't have to already be friends with you to have a conversation with you. That
Right.
we can have shared experiences, even
hmm
if we're from other parts of the world.
That commonality is huge. That's how you bridge. That's how you start the relationship building process. It's find commonality.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for.
hmm
And the thing that I always found interesting when I was working for a property management company and going to these conferences versus now I'm a vendor and I go to these conferences. Um, I've always done whatever it is that Jonathan Cook does at a conference. Which, if you've ever been with me at a conference, I just described that perfectly. Whatever it is that I do at those things, which
You
is
do it well.
just walk around and hang out with all my friends, and we'll talk about all this great, cool, interesting stuff. Um, I when I was a property manager, I would go and grab vendors and bring them to hang out with me. Now I'm a vendor, and I just go and grab people who I know that they should be hanging out and talking with each other, and I introduce people. I do that a lot, but
Connector. Great connector of people.
yeah, I do a little bit of connecting. I it's fun. It's like matchmaking, but like for
For
businessmen.
business, yeah.
It's fun. I prefer this version, but
Ugh.
it's always I don't introduce people even in the business world by hey, let me introduce you to Aaron Kramer. They do a lot of business and probably need some maintenance coordination services and some turn stuff. Aaron, this is Bradley. I don't do that. I mean,
Right.
I do that eventually, but what I normally do is, Aaron, this dude is so much fun. Need to come hang out with me and Bradley. He likes tequila and he likes like heavy stouts. Grab one of those and bring it. Hey, let me tell you, Aaron likes martini. Well, his dad likes martinis. This is what like let's get together and have a good time and
Right.
just learn about each other. Be friends because it's what I said earlier. I want to do business with my friends. And it's
For
a
sure.
lot easier to make friends if the reason that we're hanging out isn't because your business does business with my business,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's so much easier because we like each other, because we drink the same kind of beer, because I like to talk to this guy about life and the other cool stuff that we already enjoy doing. And then it gets to become, I also enjoy this part of business. How about you? Right?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And it goes that
100%.
way. So
100%.
I look at the Brews as a very good connecting agent.
I love it. It's a social lubricant, as they say.
David Lightfritz would say something like that.
Of course he would.
That's exactly what David would say.
I love David.
Yes.
Good stuff. Good
So
stuff.
walk me through what we want to discuss tonight, Brad. Where do you want to go? What's the question on your mind that you think connecting? Connecting is something that you and I just do. It
Oh, we
feels
do that
very
naturally,
natural.
though. Yeah, it feels seriously natural.
But there are people out there that it's not that way to.
Right.
Like a lot of them. Like a lot of our friends aren't good at it.
Sure.
What
A
if,
lot of folks are introvert. I mean, I'm raving extrovert, obviously. Everything that I do, everything that I think is usually on the cuff. You can usually tell what I'm about to say because I am so open and expressive. But I feel like the folks that don't thrive in that, I think the juice has to be worth the squeeze for them to step outside of that comfort zone and reach out and try to connect. Which is why I think we should talk about why relationships matter in our industry.
well, it's going to feel more natural because it is. You and
For sure.
I have shared interests. I think a really interesting way to get into that and utilize me as a guest. The reason that it would be valuable for me to talk to your audience,
Right.
let's say, is, my experience in the property management industry started out really rough, honest. Like, it was hard and bad. It was a nightmare. I've been doing it for a long time. Most of the time that I've been in this industry, I've been doing it wrong. For way more of it than I've been doing it what I would consider right. But I think most good property managers have that same story. I think
Sure.
this might relate to people that are that aren't shared friends that already know these stories, but are people that are your audience, Brad.
Sure.
Just to tell everyone my story, my long, salted, seasoned story in property management. I was a room. I got plenty of time, guys. I started out in this industry as a real estate agent, which I'm certain a lot of other property managers can relate to. I was a
Sure.
real estate agent first, but I was a 21-year-old real estate agent in Birmingham, Alabama, with a brand new baby. And I was like, I guess I'll sell some houses. I just went and got a license and was like, this is what I'm going to do, I guess. Sounds cool.
Okay.
And so I got into to real estate. And 2000 for those of you that remember the time that I'm about to say, you'll recognize the when it was easy and when it got hard. So I got my license in 2007. That
Oh
was a
yeah.
great time to sell real estate. It was incredible.
Gangbusters.
It was very easy. I sold a lot of real estate when I got my license in my first year. It was fabulous. But what happened right after 2007 was 2008, because that's how time works and we're old now. 2008 was a really rough depression in the real estate industry. And it hit markets like Birmingham, Alabama first and
Right.
worst. We got like decimated. It was
Mm.
nightmarish. We went from like having, and these numbers are wrong. These numbers are best I can remember from 20 years ago. I think there was something like 4,500 realtors in the state when I got licensed, and it dropped down to like 3,000 even or something like that by 2009. And now it's 7,000 or something insane. But it tanked. Like, a lot of people stopped doing real estate. I couldn't sell real estate in 2008, and that was a problem. I had a brand new baby, and I had another baby on the way, and I was young. I was a kid. My God, I was a kid. And so when I lost listings because my clients would tell me that they couldn't trust a kid, an inexperienced kid, to sell their real estate because it didn't matter that I could look up the information and have it and I could do the math. That didn't matter to them. The experience is what mattered. How do you know what the next swing is going to be? And there it was an unprecedented time in
Sure.
American real estate. And it wasn't fully unprecedented, but it was the first time that it happened that bad in a long time.
Right.
And so I lost all my business. I mean, I had listings that sat on the market for over a year. And in 2008, I was like, I'm not selling anything. I don't have any clients. This is a nightmare. I was sitting in my office and the main line rang. And it was a real estate investor. I picked up the phone. This is Jonathan Cook with Realty South. How can I help you? I was hoping to show a house. And he's like, hey, you sound young. And I was like, God, you hit me immediately where everybody's been like really criticizing me. Just on the phone, you sound young. I mean, I am. How long have you been doing it? God, I mean, just stabbing me right in like, just tee shot, man. I was like, I'm a kid, but I promise I'll work real hard. And that was really all I could say.
Right.
I promise I'll work real hard. And he goes, great. I need to write 100 offers a week. Can you do that? Yeah, totally, man. Let's go for it. It was HUD homes, man. We wrote HUD home offers. I wrote so many HUD home offers. Literally, we wrote 100 in that first week. Now, here's a story that only old realtors might remember. In 2008, in Birmingham, Alabama specifically, HUD did not accept facsimile signatures, which means I couldn't fax it. I couldn't email it. There was no software to deliver those filled out offers to. I had to write them on a piece of paper, get with ink, and the offers were 11 pages. Let's just say they were short, like 11 pages, which I think they were way more than that because it was a HUD contract and they were long. But I had to take them in a giant stack up to the HUD office, which was like 2 hours away from Birmingham. It's in Anniston. It was a clip, man. I had to drive it up to that office and walk in, and I sat them down on the lady's desk. And I was like, offers. And she looked at me and she goes, okay, hang on. No. And we just thrown them on the floor. It's like, no, you're not even close. Not even close. Throw them on this. Like, what are you doing here, kid? This is where you deliver your offers to me. No, wow. No. Ooh, you're close here, sweetheart. No.
Wow.
And I was just standing there like, I worked so long on those things that you are throwing on the ground. And like they were stapled, but like they're, coming apart. Oh man, it was rough. But like that, I learned week one why it was so hard for this guy to find somebody to write 100 offers a week. But right. I did it. And I did it for a long time. And we bought blocks of houses.
Okay.
And I wasn't selling any other real estate to anybody. Now, a HUD deal, real quick, it's $100 deal. It's $100 deal. So I wasn't making a lot of money because out of 100 offers, I got 1, maybe 2 contracts in that first week. It was bad. You have a 48-hour return time too, which we're not going to get into that. But it was a lot of footwork. It was a lot of back and forth.
Right.
But we got like 1 deal in that first week out of 100 offers. 1. Ugh. It was rough. It was really rough. And it wasn't going to close for a month and a half or whatever.
My goodness.
So, trying to make money as, I've got now 2 kids. I've got a brand new baby and a 2-year-old at the time. It's like, what am I going to do? And I talked to my investor. I'm like, I'll manage these properties. And I didn't even know what that was. I said, I will get these leased because that's what we were doing. We're buying blocks, renovating them, turning them into rental properties. Like, I'll run your rental business. I didn't even know what to call it. I'll run your rental business. And he goes, yeah, deal. That's fine. And I'll pay you a little salary and you work. I mean, and I made a business out of it on accident. My God, it was on accident. Those first years, like I was taking note, like I had note cards, like index cards, 5x7s. That's what I would like write information about the addresses on. and I had Excel spreadsheets for like
Yeah, you
when
did.
people were paying rent. But like in property management, if you property managers will recognize, a note card, an index card is not enough to know about a property. Not anywhere near close. Not anywhere near close. But I had no idea what I was doing. I was knocking on doors collecting rent in parts of Alabama where the rents were $250 a month. So that's going to be an area where there's just not a lot of money.
Sure.
Really
Yeah.
poor areas.
Yeah.
There are
Not
dogs.
bad people.
They're not bad people at all, but those
just bad
dogs would always
situations.
have leashes. And like, it's just, it was a lot of like really hard places to knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, can you hand me $200 right now? And they would be like, maybe not, man. Maybe not. And then what was I going to do? I mean, like, it was rough.
I believe
it was a hard thing to do. Evicting was a nightmare. I mean, all of it was rough. But I managed a lot of properties that way on accident.
Wow.
Accident. Didn't keep good records. Didn't keep like there was nothing that made that system easy because the part that I was good at was working hard at that
Sure.
point in time. Which,
Sure.
hey, when you're 23 years old and you've got all the energy in the world, yeah, you can Superman everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really poorly.
Absolutely.
Do it wrong. You're doing it
With
wrong.
no organization.
You're making no money. You're spending a lot of time and effort. And it was like college again, but it was real world. Learn how business works, Jonathan. Like,
Oh goodness.
throw me to the wolves. The investor was getting his money. He didn't care. Can you figure out a way to pay yourself while you do this, Jonathan?
I'll
No,
try.
he's on fire. Thank God I did learn the thing that I was good at, which was building those relationships. And I've been going to a Christmas party, and over between then and when I joined NARPM, I mean, I did all kind of like just making that work was a nightmare. I figured out like, okay, if I make sure that the maintenance is really done well, I'm going to maintain the grounds at several of these places. I did a lot of landscaping, I did a lot of stuff that was just hard to do. Just a lot. I built fences, I built porches, I did a roof by myself once. I don't know how to do a roof, Brad. I would never do that again. That's why I know you. Uh,
Oh
but
my
I mean,
goodness.
it was crazy times. But my wife started working at an insurance company, and every year we would go to the Christmas party. That insurance company was a part of a group of businesses. One of the businesses there that was going to the Christmas party every year was a property management business. And shoot, I like to talk about real estate because that was what I actually knew how to do. Was even as we grew and stuff, and yes, I was doing the property management, I was doing the maintenance, I was doing the leasing, I was doing the collections. But the thing that I was good at was I was doing the acquisitions, which is what made it easier over time. Is I made sure that the properties that we bought were in easier areas for me to manage. I was
Sure.
picking out the investment properties, and I was making sure that there was going to be enough meat on those bones of those investments to pay me.
Right.
I had to go and make the investments work. And that was the part that I was really good at. Leasing, God, no, I hate leasing. I hate it so much. Maintenance, God, no, don't want to do that. I'm bad at it. But I had to
Big
do
headache.
it all.
A lot of moving
And
parts.
somebody had to keep track of all of my index cards, Brad. And that was also me. And it was not great.
Yeah, there was no GPT back then.
There was none of it. I'm Atfolio was around. I didn't have it. I didn't even know it existed. But those Christmas parties, man, I got to hang out with a property manager and we would talk real estate investment. And that just became great for several years. Several years. I discussed property management with a property manager about real estate in Birmingham and never once even mentioned like, hey, are you looking for anybody in your business? I'll come work with you. Because I was doing everything. And the thought of me working for someone else was completely nowhere near the way that I was thinking, right?
Right.
But after a few years, my wife was like, why don't you ask Brian if you can come work, for AHI? Brian Jenkins, who I was talking about earlier. I was like, shoot, I should. Hey, Brian, you got any positions open? I can do everything that it happens in property management because I'm actively doing everything in property management. This is what I do, man. He was like, yeah, you want to come be my BDM? I think you'd be good at that. Super. Off I go.
Fantastic.
Off I go. And that's when we're talking about specialization, that's when I recognized that that was even possible.
Okay.
I grew my business by myself, slowly with my investors' money, like making sure that we were like, because I worked for him. I mean, I'm going to direct where all this stuff is going. Like growing it was, I didn't have any other clients. I had one client. It was hard.
Wow.
So
Wow.
like growing it did not really exist.
Right.
I knew how to do it from an acquisition standpoint, but I wasn't able to do it from like a go out and meet new clients that want to join and stuff like that. Once I stopped having to do all the rest of that, my
Right.
focus got to be just on business development. I really enjoyed that. That's when I found specialization. It's where I met people that understood how to lease and do leasing well. And like
Right.
I met who a person that I would think is one of the greatest leasing managers in NARPM, probably, or at least one of the best ones that I know of. Joe Levio. Um,
Okay.
that man is so well organized and so good at so many things. And he's really good at leasing. Um, you could ask him about a random year and a day and say, "Did you lease any properties on that day?" And he could tell you how many properties he leased, who he leased them to, what time of day it was that he leased them. Like he give you that information. He'll pull it out of a file, but he has it. Uh, but I met him and I figured like, oh, if you can lease these properties faster, my God, you can make so much more money. Like, no
Right.
vacancy goes down. Wow, because I was bad at leasing. Then I met a maintenance department, and I was like, this is how maintenance should be done.
Like, hey.
What do you know that you could grow this business so much faster just if people knew that this existed, which was so easy. I was like, oh, now I just get to go and tell people, hey, did you know that property management exists? I know a guy. That's my favorite thing to do in the world, Brad,
Done is
is
done.
introduce people. Hey, I know a guy that can do that.
100%.
After several years, in property management, I helped do a lot of growth and neat things at that company. We got to work with a lot of investors. I still made several more mistakes, but that's where I got introduced to like professional property management, like a real version of property management. And I met a group, one who I think is one of the best groups in the country for learning about property management. I met the Atlanta chapter of NARPM. Now, NARPM itself, incredible, truly a great place to learn and grow. And I've got friends all over the country. But the Atlanta chapter of NARPM is always going to be a near and dear group to me because there are some really special people, specifically in that chapter. And I just learned everything that I could from them. I spent the next several years just, how do you do that? What is it that your company does? Wow. Tell me about it. How did you do that? How did you make that happen? And that
Okay.
just became like a student of the industry, I think.
There you
It's
go.
a lot easier to do when you have those relationships, right?
Sure. 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 Yeah, no, it's huge. It's huge. Yeah, break down the walls and the barriers. Relationships are absolutely vital, especially if you want to get stuff done. Like to your point and credit over and over and over again, you definitely want to work with your friends more than you want to work with people you don't know. I mean, being able to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, buddy, I have a situation. Can you talk to me about this?" Having that ability to connect on a real level and say, "Shoot me straight, man. I don't need jargon. I don't need you're protecting your company today. I get that, but I just need the straight and narrow, man. Hit me with the real. Hit me in the chest. Hit me between the eyes. Whatever you need to do, give me the real." I find it so interesting how you found your place in the business development space in that role. I find that so interesting. For me, it was I came through operations. I was in insurance for a long time. I grew up in New Orleans. I went from throwing shingles at a roofing supply yard to someone on the insurance inside said, "Hey, that guy knows a whole bunch about construction. Let's talk to him." So they brought me in for a test. I took this little aptitude test and I scored higher than anyone had ever scored. And they went, "How'd you do this?" And I said, "Well, my grandfather taught me a whole bunch about construction when I was young. He used to call me his legs when I was young. So I wired every piece of wiring in his original house. I installed all the fixtures. I installed flooring. I installed drywall. I installed just about everything you can touch in a home. So seeing it that from that perspective, and then going through Katrina, because I grew up in New Orleans. After that, it was a lot of cleanup, gut, just trying to pick up the pieces of my life, my friends' lives, my family's lives. It kind of opened my eyes more to the possibility and the, hey man, this is kind of done wrong, honestly. I
Oh
I
my
I
God, that
I, I raised my hand and went, this doesn't feel right. Why did Papa have this issue with his claim and I didn't understand? So I became an adjuster, and I said we can do this better. And I worked for several different companies, and then I said, I really hate this, and this feels unethical, and this feels like this, and this feels like that. And one of my friends challenged me one day, and he goes, Brad, why don't you write a business plan? You can do this better than they can. So I did. And I went for funding. And it was so funny because I'm sitting down with executives from Wingspan and a former employer, and I'm sitting in a boardroom with high net worth individuals that are far, in my personal opinion or view at that point, were just so far above what I had achieved in my career at that point. I'm just in awe of these, to me, titans of industry that I'm pitching my grand plan to, and they go, you know what, Brad? We're going to give you a shot, man. And it shocked me. But what I learned was in 11 months, I landed my first contract. And it was so much work and effort and push. I started to understand where my niche was. And then it grew in the next position when I got with ZVN. And that's when I went 4 for 4 on RFPs. And the CEO of that company, Brian Lisikowski, looks at me and he goes, I've never seen anyone sell like you, ever. Ever. And I said, I don't really think I'm selling. I believe in what I'm pitching. I'm pitching. And he goes, no, you're an amazing salesman. And for me, it was always, all right, okay. I look at you as a person. I go, okay, I have to understand who you are as a person. I want to break down some of these walls and barriers. And how do I befriend you? Or how do I create that commonality? How do we find that common denominator? And that's literally 2.5, almost 3 years ago. I'm in the Chick-fil-A Hall of Fame, the College Football Hall of Fame,
in Atlanta,
in,
Georgia.
in Atlanta, Georgia, and I knew no one. This is my first
You
time
met
in the property
Bradley.
management space, and I met this guy. It's so funny because I'm usually the loudest guy in the room, and you had my title, and I said, "Who the heck is that guy? And why am I not the center of attention holding church with with these folks?" It blew my mind. So I said, I have to know you. You,
I'm
Bar,
from Dallas.
now, let's go. And that commonality very, very quickly over
It is
bourbon.
the commonality.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like the spark. That's
That's
the
it.
that's the real. It's the in, right? What
Right.
in your business career, which is different than mine. You've
Sure.
cold called, certainly,
Oh,
right?
oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so
Thousands and thousands
yeah,
of times.
yeah, same. And it's interesting talking to CEOs about this because we didn't even have an outbound department until I joined APM Help. By the way,
Oh, no. Mr.
that,
Department.
but you know what? That's everybody. Like that's so
Of
many companies.
course. In any
Like
startup. Absolutely.
so,
Absolutely.
I have been consulting property managers for years about. I mean, I still do it now, even at APM Help. I'm always happy to consult with property managers about how they can grow their business because this is the deal. None of us know it all,
Right.
right? Like, I don't care how good you are at ops or leasing or maintenance or turns. There are so many different moving parts in property management that most people are actually trying to juggle all of it.
Right.
Maybe they have one partner, and that's the one thing that they just absolutely can't do. Bookkeeping tends to be that thing. Like, really, for me, bookkeeping does often tend to be that thing because, like, that's what I need. Like, that, my biggest,
That's what I need on a personal level.
but like legitimate, yeah, of course. But like for business, when I was running business, like the
Mhm.
thing that I really recognized when I was doing my own that always kept me scared, the thing that kept me up at night was I gotta make sure that my books are clean. And they were, but the only reason that they were was it took 95% of my attention. Because it was just like, I can't mess up here and I'm not good at it. Because it wasn't that I wasn't going to do it. It
Sure.
was this one aspect of this whole business is a lot harder for me.
Sure.
It takes me 16 times longer to do like these steps than it takes me to do, than it takes somebody that's good at it, certainly.
Right.
But then it's separately, I can build a relationship with a new person like that.
Right.
Like that takes some people months and months and months to do. I can
Sure.
become your best friend in a few minutes.
Sure.
And like that's where I could save time and focus energy and do the things that made money
Sure.
once I had a bookkeeper that could make sure that that stuff was done properly, just because it's a specialization, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so I always find it more valuable to me to recognize other people's strengths. Because if we're friends, your strength is my strength. If
100%.
we're friends, and I want to be your friend because I know that I'm not strong enough to do all of it. It was like
Right.
the day that I got introduced to a professional property management company where they had departments and used vendors and like had sources to do all this stuff. I was like, oh, this is the only way to do business. What are you
Right.
talking about?
There's people for
Do it.
this. It's
You
not just
do.
me anymore.
And a lot of that to do with like people will argue with me, well, they had a budget to hire staff. Okay. Yeah, they did. And that was great for me to be able to see it that way and see the value of it.
Sure.
Okay. If you can't have a staff, you can find a company that does this that's way cheaper than having your own actual staff. Like, imagine trying to start a property management business. Big thing. Simultaneously starting a construction company to do it. That's a whole business on its. They both have to stand alone
Right.
on their own. How do you run two? It's hard.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
hard to do.
Yeah. It's
So
difficult to scale without
and
partners.
it's not that you can't do them though. Like that. Like
Sure.
I don't want anyone to
Small
take.
scale, always. You can
Yeah,
do a whole
I can.
bunch.
Yeah, I
You
can.
yourself, I'm sure a few hundred properties you could manage all by yourself.
Yeah,
But
and
there
I
would
would
come
use
a
vendors
point
for
where
every step.
you'd have to, right?
You'd
You'd
have to.
have to.
I could do that because I'm friends with all the vendors. I
Right.
know who I would use for each little spot. That's exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
specifically where I think education, it's hard to have organizational education about this because you are pitching other people's companies. You are dictating who are the companies. I'm not saying that I know who does all of the things best. I picked out APM Help to work for because I think, well, of the companies that do this service, this is the best one. This is the one that I want to go work for. Trust account bookkeeping is hard. I can't do it. I know that I can't. That was where I looked at my skills and said, this is what I lack the most. That's who I want to go work for. Because it's not me doing anybody's books. My
Right.
job is to go out there and tell people like, hey, I'm bad at this. I bet you are too, because we seem to be alike.
Right.
Are you good at this? It seems like you're really good at this. It seems like you're really good at growing a company, making new relationships. That's what real estate agents are.
Sure.
They're relationship experts. Well, I'm happy to tell you, relationship experts, focus that on clientele list. Let me tell you who, like, the other relationships you might want to have. I know those people. I'm happy to introduce you. Where do you not have a skill? Is it maintenance? Is it leasing? Is it accounting? What are your skills? I can introduce you to people that have others. But you have to be honest in your communication about what are you actually good at.
Oh, 100%.
That's hard for people to hit.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, everybody wants to be the solution for everything, right?
I do everything. I do it all.
Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the greatest in sliced bread. And when I wake up, excellence.
But you can piss excellence if you aim it at something. You can't piss
100%.
excellence at everything.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Correct.
You can be the greatest like athletic specimen of all time at track and field and at sumo wrestling, but not both.
Right. I mean, Jordan proved it. I mean, he's a
But not
great
both. He
basketball
was
player.
great. He was
He
great.
was not
He
a
played
great
baseball in
baseball player.
Birmingham, Alabama. I will
He
fight
was
you.
good. He
I'll
was
fight you.
good.
He was
He was
good at
good.
baseball.
I'm a Jordan fan. I cannot jump.
Yeah,
It's a fact. It's verified. And gravity's pulling on me much greater these years. But
man.
no, for me personally, look.
Jordan can
Okay,
play that.
Neon Dion did it well. Okay, he played two sports like a boss,
Okay,
and I was a
okay,
super fan.
okay. Bo Jackson played two
But
sports really
you're
well too.
talking rare. That's the exception, not the
And that's
rule.
only two. That's only
Yes, in history,
no.
better stand out.
But it's still only two sports. Now add hockey into anybody, any one of
There's
those
no way.
people,
There's no
any
way.
one of those incredible phenomenons. Add hockey. Don't just add hockey. Add hockey and add soccer. Okay, we're all still running around. Hey, now add curling.
That's a different technical skill. Yeah, I don't.
Now add sumo wrestling. Okay, so that's
And
what
done.
property management is. Property management, like if you are the Jordan
Sure.
at a thing, which I think I know a lot of Jordans at
Sure.
stuff. Like I really do. I know some incredible, like I know some maintenance coordinators that understand the art of this. I'm going to send this person to do this small job in this area because I want them to work a bigger job in a similar area, but they don't take big jobs that they don't like those areas. But I know this guy's the best for it. And if I can just get him to run out there for one day to fix this faucet, I know that I can convince him to go back out there to redo that entire bathroom.
Right.
Like that's a skill.
It's an absolute skill.
Like that's a story, sure. And there's probably, we're not talking about the actual, like, well, you've got to make sure that the law is being followed. And yeah, you do, sure. But also, like, somebody's job has to be convince these people to work with us.
100%.
Somebody
And for the minute prices that we're offering most days.
Somebody has to have that relationship with that vendor
100%.
to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Because, do you know what really sucks? This is the thing that I found. Vacancy is your killer. Vacancy is the worst stat, I think, in real estate investment. Delinquency's bad. But delinquency gets a really bright light shined on it. And the number is smaller. Like the cost, the actual loss percentage is smaller than in vacancy. If there's no money coming in, and you have no hope of making it back up with late fees. There's nothing. There's no money coming in. It's absence of income. That's more expensive than I had to pay to fix a thing. Okay, write it off on your taxes. Learn how this industry works. My God, right. This business is math. Do the math, guys. Do the math. It's like just find the right guy. Find the guy that'll, like, vacancy is the thing that you got to stay away from. So somebody's got to do that work. Somebody's got to know the guy that gets that done.
Sure.
And gets it done right. Because they knew, I'm going to send him out there to fix that leaky faucet because I know I can convince him on a 30-minute trip. But I really need him to see that area is a fine place to be. He's not going to be worried about it. He can go over there and fix that whole bathroom.
Right.
He needs to know that he can do that.
Sure.
And then you get sent over there and he's like, oh, well, now I've got a solution for that leaky faucet. And I've got a solution for that bathroom remodel.
Heck yeah.
That's a skill. And I know some people that are really freaking good at that.
Absolutely.
Right? But like I'm not.
We got a guy.
Elections. Every single one of these things by itself to be the Jordan in, it takes like hyper-focus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're not going to have a passing knowledge of a property management bookkeeping software and how to make sure that you're monitoring those P&Ls and accounting for every dollar that comes in and making sure that those checks get, organized properly. Like you might be really good at bookkeeping. Like specifically, I know how to do bookkeeping. Okay. Cool. Do you know how to do it in software? Specifically this one software, which is the one that the guy that knows how that's growing the property management business, the one that they chose and paid for to run this in. Right?
Right.
There's a lot of bookkeepers out there that are really good at bookkeeping. but like they need someone to teach them these software systems, because when you learn bookkeeping, you don't learn it in property management software.
Right.
You don't learn Appfolio's version of this GL, like how
Right.
that's done. You need somebody that does understand that.
Sure.
You need somebody that can hyper specialize in doing it right, because the fines are outrageous.
Oh,
You do it
absolutely.
wrong and
And it's
it's bad.
efficiency at the end of the day. It's just efficiency. Use the experts. That's why
There
you call
are
property masters for renovations. You call APM help if you need bookkeeping. It's simple.
that's the
That's it.
actual thing that I'm saying. But you have
That's
to
it.
you if you don't go and enjoy the brews afterwards, you don't meet the Brads that have those connections. Like that's the point. I
100%.
collect friends that are incredible. All of my friends, I think, are truly astonishing and wonderful people, and I think that they are. I think that they're people that everyone should meet. My God, all of them, all of them. From Regina Ingram, property manager in LaGrange, Georgia, freaking knows that market like the back of her hand, which is the thing that to me makes a property manager
Sure.
like that's the thing that goes from corporate property management that like, yeah, I guess it will return me something well, but like, sure, I'm not gonna throw any companies under the bus. Here's the corporate version of this, which is fine. But like if I'm an investor, I'm not choosing the corporate entity to manage my property. I'm choosing the person that's like from the area that knows the market, right?
Right.
She knows that market. She knows everything about it. You go to buy a house there. Hey, Regina, should I buy this house? Yes. Should I buy this house? No. I don't need to know the math. I know that she knows the math.
Right.
Right? I know that she knows what that means.
100%.
You just gotta find but then I know her and I know Taylor.
Oh, for
Taylor
sure.
knows bookkeeping. Taylor
I
knows
believe
like
it.
how to build how to get credit off of bookkeeping, how to do your books so nice and clean and tidy that banks will look at them and go, oh, wow, okay, yeah, we'll help give you discounted rates for running those accounts because I know how clean they are. Yeah, my God. Oh, do you need capital funding? Oh, okay. Are you missing? Or do you need to? Do you want to offer a new service to your clients that like maybe you can't do without investment capital?
Right.
Taylor knows how to get that done, and we did it. That's cool. Fixed
Nice.
is incredible. My God, call Fixed and ask Fixed about Fixed. I don't know how it all works together because the honesty is that's not my specialty. Just met people that started getting it done, and I was like, oh, is that how that works? Yeah, like this is how we underwrite. If I know that what this is clean and good, we can underwrite this for this amount.
Sure.
Oh, sweet. Fixed is incredible, guys. If y'all don't know what they do, my God, check them out. It's so cool. But like, and again, that comes back to like the relationships and being able to ask people about themselves and find out what they're good at, right?
Sure. Sure.
How
Yeah.
how do you assess somebody that you think I've got to be friends with them? Let's take Aaron Kramer's a good example.
Oh my goodness. Wow. What an amazing guy. Yeah, I love Aaron. Oh my goodness. I went in with, I guess, I don't want to say I had a sleazy salesman's mindset in the moment, but I was very focused on how do I connect with this person very, very quickly. I had probably a 30, 45-second pitch point, and then he had to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
so
God, I threw you like to the wolves there. It's like you've
hey,
got to
you
be here.
threw me a lifeline. That was one of the greatest introductions you could have ever made. I promise you. Thank you so much, buddy. Seriously.
He's
That guy is worth his weight in gold just
he's
because he's an
incredible.
amazing person. I like to I hung out
That's
with
the
him
actual thing. Like that's the actual thing.
in Colorado Springs, and it blew me away. But yeah, I mean, this guy, when you talk about a property manager that gets it at a high level, that understands his business, and he was ready to pick me apart, which I loved,
Yeah.
right? But I needed to understand that he knew construction first and foremost before I even started to pitch to him. So it was about understanding who he was, what he was about, and then being able to reach him where he was at in that moment. And that was just create a quick connection, find that commonality. Okay, and you need these services. Okay, let me give you the hard pitch real fast, and then we're gonna back off of that because yes, I had my 45 seconds, and you say you threw me to the wolves, but you really threw me. I mean, you threw a Hail Mary out there for me, and it landed in the most beautiful of ways. It couldn't have. Yeah, it was just, I mean, it was a tuck, it was a roll. I feel like I flipped over on top of it a couple times, and then I popped up and just fireworks just went off. I mean, it was spectacular.
It was a
Um,
Jerry Rice moment for you, for sure. Like,
it was, well,
did
and
you
it
feel
was,
like Jerry Rice at the moment? Do you feel
I,
like, do you get
I,
that? There are moments where I go, that was
I
the most
felt like,
Bojack move I've done.
you were very, very Montana in the moment, though. I mean, it was so just butter. I mean, you really laid it up beautifully for me. You told the guy what he needed to hear, and he said, "Hey, yeah, I got 2 minutes. We're about to leave.
Yeah,
Go."
yeah.
So you tell him who I was. I have my 45 seconds. I give him my pitch, and then I get to know Aaron Kramer. Now that was a totally different world. But again, it's your first initial contact with these folks is that's not you're not becoming. I mean, you and I became friends pretty quickly, but that's
You have to do it
rare.
on purpose.
But it was intentional. It
Someone,
was
someone's job has to be, somebody's got to collect the group of friends.
100%, 100%.
Justice League, the
Oh yeah,
Avengers. Think about like these
100%.
stories, right?
Yes,
Somebody has to be the Iron Man that goes, "Hey guys. I get it. You're all really cool on your own, but like,
right,
what if we hung out together and all did business together? Isn't that cool? Somebody can write off this brew. Somebody can
right.
write this off on their taxes. Like,
uh,
like that's a joke. It's a good joke,
it's a,
but like,
it's a,
it's
it's a
also
great joke.
barely a joke. Like, you can expense things. There's like a way to like do this. This is what business is.
Oh,
I
100%.
found I found the common entertainment that we can all get together and do, and that's like what NARPM did. NARPM's like,
100%.
hey, we all like to talk about this stuff, and we'll sponsor some of these booths, and we can get some people to come in and hotel bar this stuff all afternoon. Hey, guess what we can find? Vendors. You know what vendors like to do? Let me buy you that drink, buddy. What
That's
you drinking?
ice cold beer.
What you drinking, buddy? Let's hang out and talk. And like, that's a large part of this business. It's a very fun part of this business.
Sure, sure. But it's an important part of this business because if we don't have those connections, we don't have that real relationship, then who are we picking up on the phone and calling? Who are we reaching out to without that confidence and knowledge that, hey, they are going to take care of me. Property Masters is going to pick up the phone. Property Masters is going to send someone out. Or APM Help is going to look at my books and not rip me off and not steal my information. Like, this is a solid, secure system. This is absolutely buy the books and then some because well all of our books are kind of a little sideways and you guys make them
Yeah.
right.
No.
So I find it so interesting that coming to a conclusion of I mean really and truly it's a vital part of the process, and I think being able to pick up the phone and call on your friends and say, hey buddy, I have an issue, or hey, I don't
Yep.
understand
Yeah.
something,
Got it.
can you explain this to me? I think that
Did
is
I do this
absolutely
wrong?
huge.
That's a
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. And
Hey,
having
I
that
did a
candid
thing.
conversation
I
versus
stretched
that
myself. I got a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Is this
100%.
right? Hey,
Yes.
I'm growing. Can you look at
Yes.
this? Am I doing this right?
Heck yeah.
Yes
Heck yeah.
or no, fix this thing. This will be a
Yes.
lot easier if you do that. Oh my God, thank you. Like,
Right?
I don't go to the gym, obviously, often, but like, there are times that like me and Joe Levio used to go and work out a lot. We went for about a year solid to where we were going. I don't know if it was every afternoon. That can't be right. I've never been in that good a shape as an adult, but we would go together to the gym. And there are things that he just knew the gym better than I did. And like, I was trying to do like I don't know, some exercise that I don't do anymore. And like, it was so difficult to do. And he's like, that's hard because you're doing it like this. Let me fix that. If you'll do it this way from now on, it's so much easier. Oh, wow. Now I can do that. I can work out that muscle. I can make it easier. And it's not just about, I want things to be easier. I want it to be done right. And if you don't know the guy that can fix it, what are you doing?
Right?
Ignorance.
Sure.
Ignorance is not a pejorative.
No, and it's not bliss.
I mean, my God, there are things that, yeah, it has to be. Like, I see it, I'm watching it, and I'm like, you are just in. There's nothing. You're the happiest person I know. You have no idea what's going on, dude.
Right, exactly.
No, you aren't looking at anything. No,
Right.
I'm not.
No,
Just happy
but you
Pete.
seem happy about it.
Shit. You know what? You've got it. You've got it.
Oh, I love it.
But
I
like,
love it.
legitimately, if you don't know something and you've just been doing it because, well, that's how I figured it out.
Right.
That's how I've done it. That's not the best answer.
Mm.
Ask someone, hey, is there like a way to do this right? Frequently, the answer is yeah. And maybe the right way to do it isn't like a structured rule. The law gives us general guidelines. There's a lot of other ways. Like, there's a better way to do that.
Sure.
AI receptionist is the thing that I'm doing right now. I don't think AI is going to be taking people's jobs anytime soon. I use it too much to believe that to be true.
It's a great enhancement tool. I mean,
It's
my
a really
little
good
interaction that I've had has been mind-boggling. But again, a tool, because it doesn't give you
Doesn't
all the answers, but I think the structure that it provides,
very good.
that's a game changer for me personally, because I am so disorganized. If you look at my notes,
Oh, they're great.
or oh my goodness, I am the worst. I have notebooks all over my office, and everything is just chicken scratch, and it's chicken scratch for a reason. And I save these. I have years and years and years worth of notebooks on top of more notebooks on top of more notebooks.
Yeah.
Because this is where I dump all my thoughts out. I can't.
It's same.
I have to get the information
That's
out.
where the ideas come from. Like, that's
Absolutely.
how you do it.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
like, so this comes back to that specialization. That's how my brain works too, Brad. I have infinite notebooks of all kind of crazy thoughts. It was, that's what I can specialize in. It's like, I know how to do this math. I know how to make these investments work. I know how to, and I have tons and tons of and I record it all because I keep it all because, like, it'd be nice to have a tracking history of like what the market has done and where it's going, and like, I have a good understanding of my little part of like the real estate investment industry. I understand these things. I understand them well because this is the thing that I focus on. Specialization is important. Somebody needs to be that specialized guy. And if that's how your brain works, do that as opposed to, I'm going to also try and do everything for my company. Oh, let the AI handle the things that they can actually do. They're really good at organizing.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think
That's
Jonathan, dude, thank you again for joining us this evening. Thank you for sharing your journey, talking about how you got started in the property management space. I found it so interesting coming from such different backgrounds, how you and I came to the same conclusion, that relationships are paramount. They're absolutely one of the greatest values that we have in this space, and just reminding us that success in this industry isn't about, just processes and businesses. It's about the people behind those processes, behind those businesses, their stories. I thank you so much. Seriously.
That was incredible.
And if you're looking for a contractor partner who understands that mindset, reach out to us at Property Masters. Let's grow our businesses together. Until next time, stay focused, stay connected, stay classy. Have a great evening. 54